I think my machine's running slow. Hi, it's the 2nd of March, and it is...
It's 6:17
in the evening. Thank you, Mickey. And welcome to Geeks on Screen with Coffee. And welcome to today's guest, Michael Johnson.
Hello.
I think my machine's running a bit slow.
It does. It looks a bit sort of jittery on my side, yeah. Your video.
Yeah, it is. I do apologise for that. I need to turn it back on and on. Again. Okay.
Typical IT guy, right?
Yes, it's the only way it's going to work. Right. Oh, you can't see that, but there we go. Sound and vision synced. This is probably blur. I should have turned the blur off on camera. I'll turn the blur off. That would probably make it run a bit faster, wouldn't it, if I turned the blur off?
Could do, yeah.
Well, it must be my PC that's doing the blur.
Not your Teams.
None. Bye. Yeah, people can wait around for us. It's fine. There we go. Hopefully you can see that.
Yeah.
Have you got all quiet, or is that just me? I know what it is. Sorry. Sometimes I wonder whether I've actually done this job before. So it is us repeating what we just said on the YouTube. Pause that. Okay, sorry. That was my fault. So, Michael, how are you? Sorry about that.
You.
I just turn up. For some reason, you got quiet.
Right.
Let me turn you up.
Right.
Is that better?
Sounds good to me, but
Okay.
typical Teams conversation, right? Hello, hello.
Hello.
You said it? Yeah. Yep. You're on mute.
Who's on mute? You're on mute. And I'm sorry. You picked day. You picked today, and obviously today is Ignite Day. I
did. It's all my fault, right? And it's So Ignite
and
my virtual chapter.
Yeah.
And this.
Yeah.
It's all of my own doing.
And
aha!
I made these especially so I can sit and watch the Ignite keynote.
It was great with the dancing tribe thing. You didn't see the tribes, right?
No, I missed that bit.
You've got to go back and see the tribes. They had some sort of Goa dance, sort of tribal circle happening in VR with everybody sort of, I don't know, sending all this energy into the fire. I'm not sure how to describe that scene, but it was interesting.
I watched there's a bit at the beginning on VR and Mesh, and the bit where the Pokemon Go and they were just going to have a Pokemon Go battle, and then I needed to get a few things ready.
Yeah.
Sorry. So someone's replying to us saying, "Am I not speaking at the Manchester user group?" Yes, I am speaking at the not the Manchester user group.
Yep.
Naughty Ian, bad Ian, in your bed.
Yep.
It's the Northern Azure something group, something. Sorry, I'm going to take my watch off because otherwise my wrist is just buzzing all the way through. So
it does.
How is your Let's start with the elephant in the room. Look at your setup. I was super impressed with looking at the front, and I'm more impressed.
It's quite nice, yeah, right? So I try to make I don't know. Everybody's upping their game, so I have Simon Whiteley to blame for. Have you seen his setup? I don't know. His looks.
Who?
Simon Whiteley.
Simon White. Sorry, doesn't ring a bell. I don't. Doesn't he have a podcast or something?
Yeah, he does regular sort of YouTube streams. Yeah, and no, he's got all the little light stuff, so you can see I've got that stuff going too. So little color fading in and out, and yeah, it looks quite nice.
So so that stuff, see, you've done a bit of set dressing. Now I can't like let you get away with dressing your set without actually like you showing us what's behind you.
Behind me.
You're not getting away with it.
Well, that's easy enough. There's nothing. I really almost have nothing on the. So it's just basically a bookshelf, I guess, if you want to. So there's just bookshelves with a whole bunch of mess. Now I won't show you the floor because the floor's got all sorts of nonsense on it. I'm busy redoing the bedroom and the office at the same time, so like storage space is precious. So it's purely an illusion. So, and yeah, so
I'm going to ask, what's behind the magic curtain?
That is actually my daughter's bedroom, so I'm not going to open up those curtains. It's Australia. We basically this used to be the balcony, so they sort of enclosed the balcony. So it's kind of weird. My daughter has a window that comes onto my office, so I put the curtains up for to
preserve your dignity.
Exactly right.
So what are the trophies for? I'm not letting you get away with that. Having trophies in the background.
This is that's the MVP one, right? So
some of us aren't MVPs.
Well, not if you work for Microsoft, you won't know, right? No. So that's the standard. You'll notice all the MVPs cunningly leave their statues sort of just there, and I haven't upped my game entirely. I don't have the certificates anyway. And then this is the pass. The Pass Passion Award.
Ooh.
So it's a lovely one. I know. Look how fancy that is.
Ooh.
That limited edition now, right?
Yeah, well, yes. Well, you might be worth something.
Exactly. I was in a meeting with somebody the other day, and he also Chris Tesla O'Neill, and there was another guy in the meeting, and he also asked, "What's that silver? What's the crystal one?" Yeah, the other guy also had one, so clearly they're not that rare. But Charlotte, you got Fido one about 10 years ago, I guess, the Passion Award. So but it's a lovely little trophy.
And the other one, it looks like it's a football, it's like a proper
can
trophy.
You actually see the football one? Yeah. Okay, no. Okay, the football one's a little bit cheeky, right? That's just that's the family fantasy football league trophy. So we got a pool of about 10 of us who play every year, and the winner gets the trophy. So I'm 2 years running, but I'm afraid this year I'm not going to crack it. About 100 points out with 10 games to go.
Oh, all right. So, I mean, are you going to hand it over cleanly, or are you going to snap it or accidentally drop it in the handover process?
Yeah, something unfortunate is going to happen to it, right? So, no, it's fine. I'm actually happy. Fantasy League's fun, but it's a lot of time, right? It just, every weekend you got to go and look at this team and figure out who's playing. So I'm actually quite happy to lose this one and maybe bow out for next year as well, because it just takes up so much time.
So, we haven't even done, what are you drinking? So,
I'm actually drinking hot chocolate because
so were you at?
Look at that, sir.
So
I was at Sequel Bits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
The speakeasy. That was. Were you there for the whole thing?
I was.
Oh.
So that was the one in Manchester, right? Was that the one the year before? No, Magic was London, and then Speakeasy was Manchester the next year. So I've only been to 2, so that's my point of reference.
I can't remember really where they were. I just remember them by the theme or the party.
Yes, yeah. But I was never, not having gone to the steampunk one. That looked like the best one. But my first one was the Magic one, so that was London 3 years ago.
They are all super unique. So, and it was on that balcony area, and so you were walking and all those performers. They're like at least 2,
fantastic.
3 sections. Well, they had multiple sections of performers all doing stuff. But if you went to something like the disco one, that was basically pure disco. Apart from they did have like a band, like a live band marching people in. So it is yeah, it's one of the things I go for. I think I could miss the entire sequel bits if I just got to the party.
Yeah, no, so I enjoy sequel bits. The parties are, it's yeah, it's a really nice conference. Was hoping to actually do my third one this year, but well, or last year, right? But that never happened.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things that we all want to get back to, like virtual event. We all want to get back to like physical events. Virtual events are fine, and I think we were talking before that you sometimes feel you're just talking into the void, and then there's no one there. I can see that Benny's there, and I can see that Steve
Hey,
Powell's
Benny,
there.
I see Benny.
Yeah,
Benny dropped the Ignite session to come listen to us.
Which
nice.
it's gonna be more. I can't offer a Microsoft Insights, not legally anyway, and and Blythe is also watching, and
hello.
I haven't got a dress to hand, and I did ask you whether you would wear a dress. I think we've gone slubby.
You didn't. We skipped that conversation.
We did. I did. I do have something. Something did arrive. So I feel I have let Blythe down, and I have let a few people down. But this arrived. It's not going to really work very well wearing it. But it's a little bit
very nice.
Have you got? You might have one of these. I thought.
Me, no.
I thought all the MVPs had.
So you're probably letting the cat out of the bag, but we got asked to give our sort of address for a delivery, a surprise delivery.
Oh.
So yeah, that's probably it.
Oh, when was that?
About 3-4 weeks ago. This is South Africa. The postal service in South Africa are not.
Oh,
this. Yeah, we don't have a. Yeah.
There's a story. This is a year and a half wait.
Okay, yeah. Well, I can believe that. So my MCT stuff, I'm still waiting for it. It's a year and a half, 2 years out.
No, really?
It's just, I mean, I'm assuming it's gone, right? That's the assumption. Yeah, because Amazon won't even deliver here anymore. So much of the content goes missing that they won't ship stuff here.
So when you say they won't ship stuff here, do you mean to where you
South Africa?
To South Africa, the whole
South Africa
country?
Yeah, the whole country is basically on a. So,
no, Amazon don't ship to South Africa.
They do not ship to South Africa. So what you can do, and I actually need to do that, but is there's like services where what you do is you get it shipped to some address in the States or the UK, and then they'll forward it on here using a private courier. Yeah, so we're going to do that because, I mean, exactly, we were speaking earlier about the camera. The camera doesn't come with this, what's called a DC coupler, right? It's like a fake battery that's attached to a DC source. And yeah, I just can't find them here. And you can't ship them. So I'm going to get it shipped to my sister who's in the UK, and then she can shove it in a package because it just can't be done. Like the whole country doesn't have stock of this part. It's crazy. You even got hold of Canon themselves. Just can't get it.
So I'm presuming that you're in the bit of is Johannesburg under load shedding at the moment? Because every time I talk to anyone in South Africa,
I know. Yes, Gail seems to get a disproportionate share of load shedding, but she lives on the side of town that just has power problems. I'm actually quite lucky. The side of town I am, we very rarely get load shedded. We just have no water for sort of chunks of time.
Okay.
But,
I mean, you do look like you're taking the mick. You're like you're showing you're using energy, and then you're adding.
I tell you exactly
all these extra lights. We don't need them. They're just on for show.
Yeah, well, that's exactly So, I mean, load shedding hasn't been that bad recently, but I it's hard because I know we don't get load shedded as much as other people, so that might be a bit insensitive for somebody who's probably getting load shedded every 3 days or something.
Well, don't worry, because they won't be able to see this because of the load shedding.
Right? They're not watching.
Yeah. They've got no power. Yeah, unless they're watching on their mobile.
Which is the South African way. It's well, the whole continent. We're a mobile first nation, right?
Yeah.
Everything happens on
Sorry,
It's more.
sorry. Someone was just commenting on the glasses. Now, has everybody not got their Synapse glasses? It's a bit like, 3D glasses that used to get.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get some. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed, right?
Well, I mean, I don't think we ship to South Africa. That's a problem.
If Amazon doesn't.
Before we go down too many rabbit holes, I get distracted, and I don't do the serious stuff because we need to. There's a few things. Yeah, because we don't want to have too much fun. So, I mean, so what is your favorite cheese?
Oh, it's probably a difficult one. I actually probably don't know the name of it. Yeah, I wouldn't even know. I mean, I don't know many cheeses. So like a mature cheddar, I guess, is probably that sort of default go-to cheese. But I was at Pryce once. I don't know if you remember. So Gareth Swanepoel.
Yeah. He was in my team. Yeah.
Yeah. So we used to do a sequel wine at Pryce, and one of the people who came over bought this cheese. It was lovely. It was almost like a mature cheddar, but it had this like a crystalline crust to it. I don't that I loved, but I can't even tell you what it was.
All right.
I'm afraid I'm not that classy.
I just thought that you weren't the person.
In South Africa, we have our cheddar cheese, and it's orange. And that's all we know.
Your cheddar cheese and
apparently your cheese isn't orange.
You can get
a lot of cheese.
You can get red Leicester, which is orange, which I guess isn't really red, but red Leicester. But I'm sure there's a reason why that is that. I was just going to suggest that are you not the person who goes to the shops to buy the cheese?
No.
Is that why you don't know what it's called, or you just?
Yeah, me and shopping are not. We are mutually exclusive kind of thing, right? No, I don't. That's the best bit about lockdown. Now I have every reason not to go to the shopping centres. Not.
So I mean, now you've mentioned it. How is your lockdown? I mean, how's it been for you?
For me, it's been great. As I mentioned, I'm a bit of a recluse, so it's just given me the excuse not to have to drive into work every day. So that bit's been great. Missing the user groups and stuff, right? Not being able to go, but otherwise it's been good. For the country itself, not so good, I guess. I mean, my wife's a teacher, right? So that's been a fun one.
Okay.
Yeah, and she was actually she did a locum, so sort of part-time. When you fill
standing in, yeah.
For contract, yeah. She did that at a government school, and I mean, there they had like 45 kids in a class.
45.
And then you had this, you had coronavirus with 45 kids in a class. So what they did is the strategy was to they basically split the class in half, and one comes one day, so TikTok kind of pattern. But I mean, that's still 27 kids in a class, right? Which is still a lot. That's a lot to begin with. So how she or how anybody didn't get anything. There were a couple of teachers who did get COVID every now and then, but nothing crazy. So yeah, suppose we escaped the COVID thing. Sort of knock on wood, I guess. It's not over yet. We're still way behind on our vaccine rollout. I think we've done 50,000.
Oh, really? Okay, that's not a lot. Okay.
Which is I think that's what most sort of European countries are doing in a day. Now, obviously, we're just sort of right at the bottom of the pecking order, right? All the wealthier countries sort of helping themselves, and then hopefully we'll get, and let's be honest, we're a fairly wealthy country by African standards, so you don't want to be in Swaziland or something. They're probably, I don't even know when they're going to get.
I mean, have they got actual problems with coronavirus, or are they managing to get past it?
I don't know that Africa got hit that hard. I think we're the biggest ones, and if I mean, I can't speak authoritatively about what happened in Nigeria, but it doesn't seem to have actually been that bad, considering they have, they have a much larger population than us. Whereas I think we got hit worse. I think on the COVID rankings, right? I think we're 10th. Considering the size of us, it's that's not a great place to be.
I do remember.
I think we're still beating you guys, but this is not a.
I do remember team meetings we used to have, and I would check the COVID ranking, and then I'd say, we're still third. Is that a good? No, that's not a good thing.
That's not something you want to be winning.
No, it's been it's been a long time since I looked at those kind of worldwide rankings. I think,
man, I used to look every day, right, and used to see what the trend of it. And now it's probably been weeks since I've looked.
Yeah.
It's now just too depressing, right?
Yes. I mean, it's horrific if you actually really think about the actual death toll. It's it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, on that cheery note, do you want to tell me about your virtual user group? So obviously I run. So that basically came from the old. I'm assuming everybody listening to this, or a few of you, right, know that PASS has come to an end. So we took what was the business analytics virtual chapter, and we sort of gone independent with it. And so we're trying to find our feet and get a platform and get all the tools together. So PASS always gave us those tools, so it was pretty easy, right? So we used to have GoToMeeting and the mailing list and all that stuff, and now we got to start from scratch again. It's not too bad though. Are you not on the new Microsoft program?
Unfortunately, I fit into a bit of a gray area there, because we're going to fit somewhere between data platform and Power BI, and so the data platform stuff, they kind of want a heavier load. And I mean, I had these discussions with Ree, so and then also with not so much with the Power BI side of things, but we've actually kind of taken care of most of our own infrastructure, mainly because we're just using the MVP benefit for the teams. So what else do you need, right? I mass mail everybody from my my virtual analytics user group tenant, and we run the team sessions from there. We got a website that's just WordPress, so it really wasn't a lot, So I don't feel hard done by anything. Because I think there's teams that needed it more. We're pretty self-reliant, so no, we're good.
All right. And so how do people find that? Because it's running right now, isn't it?
It is running, yes. Part of my poor timing and
go on, pimp it.
Events at exactly the same time.
Tell people about it.
Right now, so we're running we are the Analytics Virtual Group, so analyticsvirtualgroup.com. We have a Twitter handle. I think it's Analytics V Group. So if you look at that tweet I sent out earlier, that it sort of mentioned everybody in there. Right. And then so we got the website going. It's just a basic Word website. We create one post per event, right? So we're on our third talk. Still learning. We had a bit of an interesting one the first time. I've never run the live presentation on Teams.
Not the challenge.
Not the Teams meeting. Yeah. Because you can't add people once you started the meeting. You can't add people. And then
if they're in the same tenant, you can. So they have the same email address. But if they're outside,
well, so because we had Simon actually did our first talk for us. And
Simon who? Oh yeah, Simon who? Yeah,
that guy we don't know about. Yeah. So he did the first one, and he had the account he gave us wasn't. There seems to be a problem when you're coming in from public email accounts. Nikolai had exactly the same issue. We couldn't log him in. So eventually, we actually just emailed Simon our sort of domain admin account so that he could log in and present. Otherwise, we would have been dead in the water. I mean, what do you do if you can't bring in your speaker? That's the fun of being a user group lead, right? You always get these challenges.
We had the same thing for Data Toboggan, which is why kind of
You know the pain.
we had worked it out. So we had worked it out we did a dummy run. So we worked it out like a few days before. Except not all the speakers gave us their email address. So we then had to create some user accounts in the tenant and then give those out.
Yeah.
So
and that's exactly what I've done for Nikolai. I've created him an account so he can log in. But even that took a little bit longer than you'd think. There's obviously some sort of replication issue that so we created the account and he just couldn't log in for about 20-30 minutes. So at least we after the episode with Simon, we're now making sure we do tech checks the day before.
So is it Nikolai who's presenting tonight?
Nikolai's presenting now. He's speaking about your favorite topic, Synapse. Serverless. So he's doing a talk now.
So everyone's gonna have to. So is it recorded?
It is recorded.
Oh, okay. So people don't stop watching us. Don't stop.
Yeah. So we've got we got a YouTube channel going. So we post the sessions to YouTube afterwards, and on the website. If you go to the website, so analyticsvirtualgroup.com, we'll post all the videos in there, and
right.
And then we'll send out tweets, doing the good thing, trying to share the knowledge, right?
Yes, well, I mean that's the whole point. It's not about showing off at all, is it? No. No. It's for everybody else's entertainment. That's why we do it. If it was live and it wasn't being recorded, I'd tell people to jump over to that, to your user group.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just hold you here so you can't go, because I'm getting some sort of perverse pleasure out of it. Just stopping you from doing your job. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
I mean,
Asker's doing a great job. He's running solo tonight.
I mean, we could have done a watch party. They seem to be the thing now, where you'd have 2 or 3 people watching something that's happening.
Yeah, well, I've actually kind of got that. So I've got you here, and then I can see you there. But I've also got the tablet, so I'm watching the YouTube version, and then I'm also watching the Teams live version of my session. So I'm logged into 2 meetings as both a participant and a viewer.
I'm not sure.
Wonderful time to be alive.
I'm not sure how you're doing that, because I really struggle with watching any of the comments that come in on YouTube or whatever. Right? I can see that Nikolai's been posting in from Periscope, saying the South African Postal Service is better than the UK weather. How dare you, sir? How dare?
Is that Nico?
Yeah, Nico Boats.
Yeah. So I mean, he knows he lived on your fair island for a couple of years.
The weather over the last 2 weeks has been, we had snow, and then we had shorts and weather t-shirt.
Yeah.
Or in fact, if you were in Newcastle, every weekend is shorts and t-shirt weather. But sorry. So I was going to. You've been doing a lot of talks on Databricks.
Not a ton, but not in a while. So we did a couple sort of about a year or 2 ago, back when conferences were still a thing. I'll admit, since the whole COVID thing, I've actually done very few presentations. I still run as a sort of back office kind of guy, but I haven't done many other presentations. Good thing there.
So I was sneaking at your MVP profile to see what you've been doing and what you've been into. That's quite useful for just a way of finding out what people are up to. So
you got to do your research, right?
Well, I try and do a little bit of stalking. Research before the call.
Yeah. So like in South Africa, obviously we've got a fairly small community. I think there's 16 MVPs now, or 17 or so. And then so there's only 3 data platform. So you sort of have to cover a nice sort of armbit of topics. Actually, I lie. Sorry, there's 4 data platform MVPs now.
Go on, name them.
4.
I mean, now you've said that.
Well, Gale.
Yeah.
So Gail, Jody, and then Niels.
Okay, I don't think I know the other two.
So Jody Roberts, he's down in Cape Town. He runs the Cape Town user group. And then Niels runs, they sort of run an Azure user group down in Durban.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
So I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite Geeks on Screens previous episode? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It always puts pressure on you, right? I don't know.
I mean, before you said
what's
Geeks
something new about Oscar that I'd never known about him. So that was quite that he was a fisherman. I would never have known that about him had I not watched your talk. And I speak to him every week, right?
Yeah.
Just you never really get around to just speaking about your past. So
what?
Yeah, that's quite nice.
So have you always done IT, or have you moved careers?
Yeah, my life has been a little bit more sort of, I guess, So BSc Computer Science. I started life off as a developer, so basically doing web apps and stuff, and then I got into sort of hierarchies in SQL, right? I was starting to do that, and then I got all the Joe Selko. I never knew how to pronounce his surname, right? I got this book on his and trying to figure out how to build these sort of nested sort of hierarchies in SQL, and then I was trying to performance optimize them, and then I was searching indexing, and if you're in SQL and indexing, well, then you come to Gail Shaw's blog, right?
Yeah.
And then and then she mentioned a user group, and basically, that's how my whole pass or data. I would probably be a developer if I hadn't really come across that thing, right? Still trudging away and see, probably even be VB land, right? It was VB back then.
What's wrong with VB?
VB.net, nothing wrong with VB.net. I did a lot of things in VB.net.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about VB4 and VB6.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm old, but not. So I sort of started my professional life as the .NET 1 kind of 1.1 came out, right? So we started off with ASP.NET, but .NET. As soon as .NET 1.1 came out, we went to that web forms and all that cool sexiness.
I do love the way that you started off with I'm not that I'm not that old. Yeah, all right. Some of us are.
Well, that's exactly it, right? No, but I'm at the point where I am now old, right?
I don't know how old you are. It'd be rude to ask, but but the way you tell how
40.
old people are.
It's obviously a major milestone just passed, right? So I'm that side of the hill now. So I'm allowed to have it's a midlife crisis and all.
It's downhill. It's pretty well. Once you hit like 42, 43, then it really is just trying to save up to get that Porsche or Ferrari, and then it's just downhill from then. I
tell you, it's bad because then you hang around with like JP's. I think JP's 26.
Is he really?
So you still a youngin, right? So I mean, it's.
Well, I feel like the elder statesman. So sometimes when we start, you start introduction calls with new customers and stuff. Some people do like to do an intro to show how much they know and stuff. And so you'll have this competition. Yeah. SQL 6.5. Yeah. SQL 1.0. Yeah. Sybase. ISAM flat files.
I was fortunate. I sort of, I began in 2000, right? That was when I started my professional, varsity, I guess. So, we had all the modern tools, right? I mean, it was SQL. Yes, it was I don't want to say primitive, it was a simpler version of SQL, but SQL 2000 was out, right? SQL 2000 can do a lot of what SQL can do right now. I agreed. There's a lot more, maybe not as efficient, but the basics. It was there. I never really used any version before that, so I can't comment on how different that would be.
7 and 2000 weren't too far away from each other, and then 2005 was then where it started to really change. And then, 2008, and then all the BI stack getting added on.
Yeah.
I think when page level locking, row level locking and stuff was added, because I think it was page or file level locking in 6.5 or something. That's when you started to notice things start to speed up.
You see, and that's, I've lived in it was always that way. I've never known, I've never really sort of had that. I know it sounds like weird, but yeah.
See, you're part of a generation that has always been able to right click.
That's it, right? Well, that's one of my go-to features. I'm pretty much one of the oldest millennials you'll find. Because right, the 1st of January 1981, I was on the 20th. So there's 19 days of millennials older than me, but I'm about as older millennial as you'll find.
Because if you ever go back and you try, for some reason, I was trying SQL 6.5. I had to put it on for some reason. This was some years ago. And then you realize you can't right click on anything. And then you realize how bizarre that was. But that's how it worked in Windows 3.1 and 3.5.1. But this was before, you were, even, because you would have been using what? Windows ME? Windows Millennium Edition or Windows 98 at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we went from 95, and then there was, obviously, sort of XP. I never used ME myself.
I was one of the 11 people that used ME.
And, oh man, what came out after XP? There was there
was Vista.
There was that one. Vista,
yeah.
There we go. I did install Vista, but that wasn't... that wasn't long for this build, right?
There was a whole thing about skipping every other version or something of Windows.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. You still see a lot of that, right? Especially with database versions. I've got clients that they're planning their migration to 2014 now. So, guys, you realize it's out of life. You can't be planning to go to something that's out of support. But
that's what
they've got.
Run it in compatibility mode. Just go to something newer.
No, they didn't want to hear this, right? Their vendor won't sort of sign from 2016 or anything more recent than that. So their only upgrade path was to 2014. It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah, they should stamp their feet about that and go, well, this is you're locking us in. But I bet you there'd be to go to the new version, there might be a upgrade in pricing.
So yeah, I think the problem is South Africa's. Even our big companies are small, right? They don't know they don't always have the same flex. Our big banks and stuff are big. Yeah. But I work for a bank that has our IT department was 30 people, the whole IT department, right? So call center, LAN admin, the secretary, the everything. So I think they just they wanted to they were safe where they were. They didn't want to risk an upgrade, and they didn't want to hear about it.
There were, when I worked for a bank, and there were some SQL 6.5s hanging around, and I remember someone was telling me their company still had a 6.5, and it just worked, but no one knew how to upgrade it. No one knew what to do with it. But it's just sitting there. It does its job. Let's just, isolate it from everything else on the network and just let it run.
Yeah, we had another client, sort of basically the same story, right? They had this SharePoint infrastructure. And, anyway, but they went and did this sweep of all the old machines, and they found this old machine under this dev's desk. And they yanked it out and chucked it in the bin. Somebody from finance comes complaining about 2 days later, says, where's the SharePoint site? It's been running under this little desktop, right? And they had to go haul it back out, plug it back in, and it still runs on XP, right? Because that's what you do. You run banks on probably a P1 running XP.
Yeah, banks run on Excel. I know we've got to finish soon, so we've got two more questions. One is who to nominate for the next chat, and the other is Richard Herring's emergency question. So, are you aware of Richard Herring?
I mean, I've seen you do I haven't put too much thought into it. I know I should have. Yeah,
No,
if
no.
I was smart, I would have done my research, right?
Or cheated,
But
like somebody else did.
it cheated. I know. I've seen some guys. They have a number in hand.
So what number between 1 and 1001? What would you like?
Probably gonna go simple, right? Should we say 222?
222.
2.
222.
I like 2.
I've got an answer machine that can talk to you. It says, "Hey, how you doing?" Sorry, it's a De La Soul song. Sorry. No. Okay. Name a number. No. Never mind. That's well before your time, actually, De La Soul. Oh no. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. You can have the question, but you can choose to Vatican cameo it and move on to something else. I didn't warn you. Vatican cameo is a safe word. So if we go into any area you're uncomfortable with, just say Vatican cameos.
Is this the safe word? All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So what has been the worst occasion in which you have been totally naked? So, I mean, it could be an amusing story. It could be terrible, and we can just move on.
Yeah, I don't know. I try to not get naked too much, right? I guess, but it's probably not terrible. So varsity, we had, when you have orientation week, or you started. Well, it wasn't a week, but it was the winter, and they made all the guys strip down, and you had to all hop in the pool. So naked in the pool, like sort of 40 other guys. That probably ranks fairly high on the sort of naked.
Yeah, it does. That
naked only. So, I mean, it wasn't.
That's the worst. Okay, I mean, it does.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, right? I mean, everybody was in the same boat. It's not like anything bad happened.
Or the same
obviously,
pool. Yeah.
Obviously, what they did is they got all the guys into the pool, and then the girls came around, right? And then you had to pull a streaker back to your room, and obviously it's a cold pool, so you know how life is, right? But anyway, that was that. I'm going to give that my most embarrassing naked.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we can. It could have been much worse. Let's just say that.
It could have been.
Yes.
So I think that's fairly simple.
And who would you nominate to be on the next call?
I don't know.
We can come back to this one if you'd like, and then just.
How do you feel about the Yanks?
Should
we get?
Yeah.
We get Angela. I'll nominate Angela Henry.
Angela Henry.
Angela Henry.
Do you want to do an introduction?
I can do that. Yes.
Because people tend to ignore me if I just reach out to them because they just assume.
Yeah, some random thing, Gio.
Yeah, I'm some sort of some crazy stalker who just wants them to appear. I just imagine they think that I've just got some YouTube channel that I'm the only person who's on it. It's pure vanity project, and no one watches it. I mean,
no.
In fact, I think so few people watch it. I think it classifies as a cult.
I see you got 160 subscribers here.
Yes, and the Data Toboggan did over 100 in like 2 weeks or a week.
But if events do that, right? They just have a way of accumulating things that you can't do.
Yeah, and I'm terrible at the marketing.
Yeah, no.
So it's not really my thing.
I'm with you.
Okay, well, it's unfortunately time to go. I'm going to go and sneak off to another user group.
You got to run another user group. I'm going to go see the end of my my user group.
And thank you very much for your time. It's been great having you on. And let's say goodbye to everyone. Bye. And
all right.
And bye, Nico. Bye, Steve. Bye, Blythe. Bye, Ian.
Bye, Blythe.
Yeah, they're probably watching.